Meet with the Queen Boudica. She was the queen of Icenia tribe, eastern England of today. During the 1st century, she was most famous for leading a major riot against the Roman Empire. Let's have a look at it. Romans started to invade her land after her husband passed away. Boudica, still mourning the death of her husband, a horde of Roman agents forced their way to her home. Armed men seized the Celtic queen along with her 2 daughters and dragged them into public view. Before the eyes of her people, Boudica was brutally flogged as if she were a slave, and her 2 virgin daughters were raped. When the violence was over, the Romans continued their acts of cruelty on the Icenia by plundering the tribal land. Furious at their action, the queen quickly gathered her people. She would stop at nothing until she had her revenge against the Roman Empire. This brutal treatment ignited Boudica's fury and inspired her to unite several British tribes in open revolt against Roman rule. Boudica led 10,000s of warriors and destroyed the Roman capital of Britain, burned London of today, killed an estimated 80,000 Romans and Roman sympathizers. No solid defenses constructed yet, the project of the growing riot, the citizens of Comuldanum watched in horror as Boudica led her army into the town, unopposed and ordered to destruct everything in sight. Thousands of buildings were set on fire and thousands of people were slaughtered in the streets. Boudica didn't intend on taking prisoners, so any Roman cult was killed. Roman soldiers and the rest of the survivors barricaded themselves within the massive temple of Claudius, but the desperately outnumbered force was completely surrounded. Defenders held off the British horde for 2 long days, but by the end of the 2nd day, Boudica was finally broke through the remaining barricades and massacred all remaining within the temple. Before they moved on towards to Londonium, Boudica and her men pillaged as many places as they could find in Comuldanum, left the huge ruins in cities. They were aware of advancing of the Boudica's army, and most of them were already abandoned their home. Rome sent out the governor Paulinius with a small cavalry group to survey the situation of Londonium. Paulinius realized his group was outnumbered by the Queen Boudica, and he decided to reunite with his forces, so he left London. Londonium were almost deserted by the time. Boudica reached into the town and any Roman left behind was slain. Imperial buildings were destroyed. So far in total, Boudica left a path of destruction. It is believed she killed 70 to 80,000 Romans at these times. After Londonium, Boudica decided to move even forward. Finally, her army met with Paulinius' forces. When the 2 forces collided at the Battle of Watling Street, the chariots of Boudica raked down the Roman line. However, the lunge infantries of each army clashed and the superior equipments of the Romans won the day. In defeat, Boudica drank a poison, choosing to end her own life rather than fall into the hands of the Romans. Ultimately, unsuccessful at removing the Romans from Britannia, Boudica had her revenge with the death of thousands of her imperial Romans. Ever since then, Boudica became the symbol of resistance and freedom in British culture. There is even a famous statue of her in a chariot near Westminster Bridge in London. She is often seen as a national heroine and icon of female power, rebellion and defiance against tyranny. Even though Boudica fell in battle, her legacy still roars on through history, not as a queen who was conquered, but as a woman who dared to defy an empire. As you see, I've just started to make these kind of YouTube videos of the people who left a mark in history. Please subscribe my channel, leave a like and check my other videos and shorts on the channel. See you in another video.